Hello, hello, hello. I am waiting for Paul in the van. We're going to the horses, we're going to the river, we're going to the library. And it is hot today and it's nice, but in the evening it gets very cold, so I have my winter pants and winter jacket in the back, just in case it gets cold tonight and we're still out there at the beach or something. So I cried a whole lot again, as usual. And if I didn't cry, I don't know what would happen. I would get a migraine headache, I would lose my mind. So, yeah. Or, that can also lead to immune depression. And so if you're sitting on something, if something is bottled up and you're not dealing with it, you're ignoring it, or you're brushing over it, or you're just escaping from it, doing something else. Like people always say, you need to get your mind off. Paul too, always, you need to get your mind off those things. That's exactly the wrong approach. Okay, so that leads to more mental illness. That leads to more insanity. And he's coming back now. So let's see if he's ready to go. But until he's fully ready to go, I'm going to talk about psychology. And I'm making a video right now, so he probably can't hear. But that's okay. So it's all difficult. Very, very, very difficult. Life is already difficult. Very difficult. And then if someone loses his hearing, then it becomes so unimaginably difficult. You cannot possibly wrap your mind around it. Not only for the person who's affected with it, but for everyone else who has to be talking to that person, dealing with that person on a daily basis. Very, very difficult. That's what they also say about people who have Alzheimer's disease. They say that it is very hard on the person affected with that, but it is even harder for the people who have to deal with that person. I saw documentary films on that, and he doesn't have Alzheimer's disease, but he has control issues and anger issues, and as long as there's completely unfinished business, he will get triggered and he doesn't even know why. Okay, so that's why I am dealing with my mental stuff right up front. When it comes up, when I'm angry, or when I get woken up all the time at night, by my bladder, or by Paul going in the kitchen 2 times per night, cooking something in the middle of the night, or really early in the morning, and I get woken up by very loud kitchen noises. So that's not very pleasant, but I have to take responsibility also. I have to take responsibility for this, whether I like that or not. Whether I want to blame it on someone else all the time or not. I have earplugs, I can use those, and the reason why he gets low blood sugar and he gets way too high blood sugar because he has type 2 diabetes, then he doesn't eat enough before he goes to bed, and then he has to go in the kitchen and cook something at 1 or 2 or whatever, and make noises, and he's agitated, I can tell. So, and the reason why he's agitated is because I trigger him non-stop. with my needs that I have, with my physical needs. It goes to the point where it bothers him to see me naked. It bothers him to see my boobs. It reminds him of my physical needs. Well, yeah, that's my body, right? But it reminds him of my physical needs. And it reminds him of other guys who will look at me and who will look at my boobs, and that bothers him enormously. So I don't even want to show myself nude around him anymore. It doesn't feel comfortable to me anymore. It feels like if he sees me nude, I feel like a criminal. I feel like I'm not supposed to have big boobs. I'm not supposed to have physical needs. I'm not supposed to have sexual needs. And then he says, if you were neutered, you wouldn't want any of those guys. I had to think about that for a moment. Because I do listen to other people, and I think about what they say. So I sat there on the couch, not laughing. I was very serious, and I thought about this, and I thought, well, yeah, okay, that doesn't mean I have to suppress now my physics. See, that's what some people do. They will link up these kind of things as some kind of argument, and they will try to gaslight someone else and into believing that the other person has an unreasonable demand. Just having physical needs, it's made into an unreasonable demand. You're being unreasonable for having these sexual needs. So now that's a really convolutedly neurotic situation. That's seriously mentally ill, to want to suppress someone else's sexual, physical needs. You want to suppress someone's appetite for healthy food? How far is it going to go? That's my question. So it's not easy. It's not easy, to say the least. Okay. So, and then the conversations with conversation partners on the internet. I am looking on Badoo. Yes, I have the right to do it. I should not even have to laugh or giggle or be apologetic or like there's something sneaky of me or some. No, it's not. And what bothers me the most about this is sexism comes into play with that. We women would never do this to a man. We could get upset if it's our boyfriend and we are actually really engaged with that guy and he's looking at other women. I understand that anger might come up, but we still have to deal with it within ourselves and not be suppressing someone else. So the other person has to be free. Okay, that's very not understood by most people. But with men, still to this day, to this day and age, it's still going on. I even see it in young men. I can't believe it. Particularly those that come from very fundamentalist Mormon or those kind of households. men who come from Jehovah's Witnesses, they have never dealt with mental issues. They have never become aware. How can they in that kind of enclave? So, but even in the regular, in the average male mind, the average male mind who thinks of himself as being progressive, as being modern, even there I still see the sexism. I still detect it. They still have this entitlement that they as men can look up women nudes on the internet all day long and pleasure themselves with that. But if a woman goes on a dating website like Badoo, it's like, you whore. It's that double standard. My goodness. Whoa. That's really annoying. He doesn't do it, but he's not, and I'm not checking on him, so I can't even tell. I would never, even if we sit next to each other, I would never look over his shoulder unless he points something out on the news and wants me to see something. I would never go like, let me. But that's what he does with me. He leans way over here. And then he gets real upset when he sees things that push his buttons. My God. Don't date that guy if he's showing. Don't that's a terrible person. So he's telling me who to like, who to dislike, how to live my life, what clothes to wear, what clothes to buy, whether I can eat clay or not, whether I can do a therapy help center or not, whether I can tell people to use clay for the wounds or not, and he will come and butts into the conversation, and he will try to sway people away from the very helpful information that I give someone if we meet someone. And the list goes on, and it goes so far that the controlling, that when I had Kenny, the Great Dane, after he got neutered, he was like 7 months old or something like this. He was still very frisky, okay, at that time. And he was into my period blood. I know a lot of people, they'll have to wash their brain after watching my videos. I know. But, these things this is all stuff that most people never talk about, okay? But this is stuff that happens, okay? It is happening, okay? Some dogs like some women's period blood. It is what it is, okay? I had dogs who didn't like my period blood. But Kenny was absolutely crazy about it, okay? So I have to hide my pads and all of that. That's also one compelling reason why we had to put a high shelf up and put the trash can in the bathroom all the way up on the high shelf. And so one time, Paul was, when we first got this house, some rooms were still empty, and I was just trying to sort things out I brought some of my furniture, and I was on my period, and Kenny was trying to hump me. and I was laughing about this, and that was so funny. because for me he's my baby, but it's still very funny, this kind of situation. And so I was holding, hugging and kissing with him, kissing and kissing, and then he came into the room and he looked at us. He seriously looked at us like this my secret lover there, who snuck in through the window and who I'm kissing with. See, I'm not making this up. So this is just, those are a couple of things that I wanted to mention on how unresolved, unfinished business he has in him, and he's not dealing with it. Okay, I gotta go. Take care. Bye bye.